Good Friday morning. Well, it's actually not Good Friday, but I say that all the time. Good Tuesday morning, good Saturday morning. I hope everybody's having a great morning, so that's why it says Good Friday morning. Anyway, oh boy, did it rain like crazy here yesterday. I measured it in a bucket, 4 inches additional to the 3 we had since the day before. So we had like a half a foot of rain here. There are places, Jersey, they are flooded. There's a lot of areas that are just simply flooded. Thank gosh, everything's fine here. So it was just constantly pouring for hours. If my well isn't full, there's something wrong. My well has to be overflowing. Oh my gosh. The pool, I had to drain it 3 times because it kept going over. Well, not over the sides, but out through the skimmer. That's where it comes out of when it hits a certain level. It was crazy, but it's good because I have plenty of water and there is no way. I'm drinking coffee. It's like 60 degrees here. It is chilly. Compared to the 90s, this feels like it's freezing. I do have something to share in a second. But let me just get these pop-outs. Oh my gosh. I already went out. I get up every morning like 7 o'clock now. It's freaking amazing. I love it. I get to do a lot during my day and I'm so tired at night. No streaming. Not me. I'm not streaming hardly no more. Because I'm focused. Bike riding, exercising. I'm not sitting here during the summer and streaming. That's winter months. Now, I'm going to make the most of this. My doctor actually gave me a high five yesterday. Saying, wow, because he saw that I was 192 2 months ago when I seen him. I'm now 178. He said, what are you doing? He said, you're doing great. Come here. He put his hand up. High five. I was like, and then I asked him, because when I say axe, people get on me. Because I do that as a New Yorker. I ask him. I asked him, what should I go down to? He said 160. I said, really? I want to go down to 155. He goes, go to 160. Then we'll see. So that was kind of bizarre. How tall are you? You should know that, shouldn't you? All right, let me just finish these pop-outs. And you know what's funny? I ended up fixing a door to one of his exam rooms. It didn't close. I'm saying, it's the hinge. I could see it because there's space between the hinge and the door. I said, I could fix that for you. Just give me a screwdriver. Actually, I need 2. Flathead Phillip. He goes, after he seen me, can you get him those tools? And they came right away. I tightened it up. And then I told him, you got to replace these 3 screws. They're not flathead. They're like, you got to get flat screws so it doesn't hit the frame. Plus, one was stripped. So when I told them, explained to them, when you buy the replacement screws, make sure they're a little fatter. They'll still fit so it holds into that door because this one is stripped. And that's why it's loosening up. It was funny. I ended up fixing my doctor's door in the office. Oh my gosh. Anyway, am I missing a pop-out? Rumble, where are you? I got Rumble. Oh, the annoying one. I hate to say it. This annoying one. And hello to those on Facebook if you're watching. I could have Facebook open. I'll do that. It's funny because when I speak to Katie Page and Tony, yeah, Bill's streaming again. And some others too. What are you, bike riding this morning? No. Tomorrow, yes. Today, no. Because tomorrow's going to be a big day. All right, I'm actually looking at Facebook right now because I have pop outs for the others. All right, so if you missed it, Chapter 1, The Hearing, aired Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This is that 22 chapter series animated, and it's written by John F. Burroughs. Chapter 2 airs. Oh, the rain wasn't too bad for you in the Berkshires? It was really bad here. Chapter 2 airs Thursday, same time, 5:30 p.m. It's called Fracture Line. So I just made a promo for it, which is going to hit KGRA platforms in about 10 minutes. But I already made it, so I'm going to share it here first. So let me grab it. And let me lower this in a second. Okay, it should be in here. All right. Chapter 1. Jack Barrett appears at a congressional hearing held in a skiff before the Gang of Eight. Now, Jack Barrett's return to the past begins. The Rendlesham event is reframed not as an encounter, but a convergence engineered by global powers and something other. All right, so I know a lot of people were saying, well, chapter 1 was really short. Chapter 1 is the introduction. It's setting up everything that's to come now. So in chapter 2, this is where it all begins. Rendlesham, 1980, December. So this is not 12 minutes long or whatever it was. This is 20 something minutes long. And I'm preparing already for, obviously with John. It is intense. I seen it already because I have to do my homework. This one is intense. They're all going to be intense. It's John Burroughs. It's going to be intense. I expect nothing less. I've said this for a long time. I know John now. I've never met him personally, but I know him. I've worked with him. My gosh, 8 years at least, maybe more. And I always known him to be blunt, direct, and his opinion, this is truly his truth from his perspective, his experience. The others may have different interpretations, Bustinza, Peniston, etc. But this is coming from his perspective. And I was wow. The second chapter, I mean, like I said, folks were saying, wow, this is too short. Well, get ready for chapter 2 because it's like 24 minutes long. And it's intense. Now remember, it's sci-fi. So there are things that are going on that are not necessarily, I don't want to say that this is what happened specifically at Rendlesham because the characters are fictionalized for reasons, obvious. And this is also looking at it from John's perspective on hypothesis, his own personal view of this. And I was that we're not going to have much time before and after the show to comment because it's a half-hour slot. So we only have like a few minutes before and after. But I'm like, wow. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are researchers, writers, experiencers, witness of sightings that will say, yes, we're dealing with extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, demons. You hear it all. But there's also this other part of it. And that is, what if it's part of a secret experiment that the military is working on? And something happens during that experiment, and I don't want to give away too much, that can, and they already came out with this. The government has already come out with this, a spokesman. The manipulation of time and space. So is that what they encountered? Now, Peniston says he's seen a physical object contact. Like I said, they all have their different perspectives, which I respect them all. I know Mr. Peniston. I spoke to him. The Enigma Code, the book that he wrote. Everybody has their own interpretation of their experience. Well, this is John's. And I'm telling you, there are things that a lot of people now may not know, little nuances. Like, I don't want to give away spoilers, but it seemed that time did slow down with their watches. There was certain things. You got to pick and see what's going on here. Remember, it is a fictionalized book, sci-fi, based on John's vision. But there's still subtle truths in here that you got to pick up. And I think a lot of people, from the feedback that I got, a lot of people found the first one very interesting. Like a friend of mine that comes into my chat here, Genghis Khan. And he said, it was really interesting. Okay, so Michael asked, so it's a sci-fi look on what they think what happened. Not what they think. What John. I cannot speak for John Burroughs, and I will not. But if you wait, a book is coming out in the fall that he and Toby are writing, Toby Martinez. That's going to fill in a lot of the gaps. That is nonfiction. That's going to lay it out. He's had a lot of experiences, and I don't want to mention other parts that may be personal to him, but he's had other experiences. They did samples, his DNA. It's like his things were changed. That's why there's so much focus and emphasis on trying to get him to come forward in a public setting. And trust me, people have tried. News organizations, individuals, organizations, groups, Congress, members of Congress. And like I said, this is not for me to speak about specifics. That's for John to discuss. Or Toby when they're being interviewed together. Because they did the work, they wrote this book together. They did the research, I am not in that position, and I refuse to do that. But it is fascinating, chapter 2. So it airs Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Just search KGRA DB on Rumble, KGRA Digital Broadcasting on Facebook, KGRA DB on YouTube, and at Global Radio Live on X. You can see it on all those platforms on Thursday. I wish I can show you. Because you know me, it's like I'm sitting at the edge of my seat and I'm like, oh, this is going to be outrageous. Because like I said, I do my homework. I only have a couple of minutes to respond to him after, but I already got my stuff set to ask him about this. Because it had me. I can do well, I don't know if I should. John might have a. Oh, speak of what's going on. I'm talking about you. Your ears ringing?
Yeah, they always are.
They always are. I'm live right now, and I just showed the promo, and I'm speaking about you. This is from your perspective. It's sci-fi, blah blah blah. You know, I'm going through the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
So what's going on? Something that we could talk here live or no?
Just simple. Send me the list that I sent you for the chapter titles.
I will email it to you as soon as I've done here.
That's cool. And enjoy your live chat. Everybody, it's great.
It is great. I was just telling him how intense chapter 2 is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's beyond intense. It made me felt like I was back involved in it. So,
Wow.
talk to you later, Bill.
Later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
See, from a personal perspective, it made him feel like he relived it all over again. See? He just said it. It was like reliving the whole event all over again. Chapter 2 is a must watch. If you're going to Chapter 1 was an introduction. Think of it like a movie. Sometimes a movie will start present, showing you what's going on now, hypothetically, and then going back to where it all began. And that's what chapter 2 does. Going back to where it all began. Rendlesham, 1980. Christmas time. And like I said, he sent me this. I want to give you a little sneak peek. It's going to be very brief because this is going to air on Thursday. And thankfully, I downloaded it. Now, I got to lower this volume because I don't want nobody to see anything yet until I'm prepared to show it. Oh my gosh, this is so intense.
Public, the consequences would be his to carry. But the scientists had finally forced his hand. The same ones who stood beside the anomaly, who had monitored him ever since. The ones who had quietly secured his DoD medical support and buried his records deep in special access program.
Now that is a fact, what John went through to get access to his medical records, and he's still because he suffered from a serious, life-threatening medical condition. And they acknowledged that he did experience that and suffered from that at Rendlesham. So something obviously happened physically that altered. So again, this is a little sneak peek. This is actually chapter 2, what you're looking on the screen.
He had resisted for years, but now the cost of silence outweighed the fear. He wasn't here by accident. He was here because those who once stared into the anomaly alongside him had pushed him forward. And now, history was about to wake up. It was Dr. Elias Voss and Dr. Christopher Hunter Green, the very scientists who had been stationed near the twin bases during the original incident, who quietly lobbied for Jack to appear. They knew the stakes. They had seen what the event truly was, and how close it came to destabilizing everything. Since 1980, those same scientists had quietly tracked Jack through a special access programs established shortly after his evaluation.
This is just the beginning. This is intense. Like I said, I've seen this already. Obviously, I have it. It is intense. But like I mentioned, I expect nothing less from John Burroughs. Everything's intense when it comes to him. He is a super intense individual. And I swear to you, and I've told this to him years ago, when I first was filling in as producer for Phenomenon Radio with his co-host Linda Moulton Howe. When Race was busy, Race Hobbs, at the time he was the main guy, obviously. So sometimes Race was busy. Bill, can you fill in for me? And I would. But after working with them, and I love Linda Moulton Howe. She calls me, what does she call me? Doll. That's her thing for me. Hey, doll. But John, I said to him after getting to know him, John, I have so much respect for you because he's so blunt, direct, and he speaks his mind. Whether you like it or not, just like anything else out there. There are a lot of people that say all kinds of things, but as I was mentioning earlier, and that's just a small little piece I just showed you of chapter 2. Chapter 2 is, let me see, how long is it? I'll tell you right now. 24 minutes long. Not like the 11 minutes of the introduction. This is 24 minutes. So if John and I get to say 2 sentences to each other before and after, that'll be a lot because we only have like 3 minutes to spare plus the intros. We probably don't even have time. We may not even be able to comment on anything after this. I wish I could because there's so many questions I have. But it's not about me. It's definitely about John and putting this out to the public. So I don't care if I don't say a word because I want everybody to enjoy this. And this is only chapter 2 of 22. And I seen the first one like so many have. And like I said, it goes quick. It's only 11 minutes plus. But this one and the stuff it gets into. Now, I wish I could show you. I'm skipping. It's amazing. And that's another thing I have to ask John. Because there was a similar... I really need to ask John this. Did he do this? Is this truly like something that he witnessed? Even through... Remember, he undergone hypnosis. A lot of the memories from that experience were suppressed. It took years for him to start getting this back. So, oh my gosh, another call scared the hell out of me. What's up, Chris? I'm live streaming right now. And I'm talking about Burroughs Green Veil. What's up?
Oh, nothing. What'd you think of the show last night?
Excellent.
Yeah, it went really fast.
And a lot of people were tuning in last night.
Yeah, there was.
So, I think Dan did tremendous taking lead.
Yeah, you got to do it more often.
So, try to figure out who's going to do what. I know that there's going to be a continuation of what Don Ecker was discussing about the moon and all that stuff. So, that's one thing. But if you guys have anything, go start talking to them. You're part of teams now. So just talk to them and see what they get the plan in motion for next Thursday.
Gotcha.
This way I have a description to work with by at least Monday and I could set it up and have it all ready to go.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
And call me. Dude, we had like 6 inches of rain here.
Oh, it's not raining, but it's actually cold today.
I know, it's cold here. No, the rain is gone. But it didn't stop till like late last night. But it was unbelievable the amount of rain that we got.
Yeah, it's very chilly. I'm surprised for August 1st.
That's that cold front coming from Canada. And now we have smoke coming down too. So keep an eye out for the smoke.
I will. I'm going to check the air quality.
All right.
now.
Love to the family. Hit me up.
All right, bye.
Bye. So getting back to this. I believe, and I don't want to misquote. What Ryan Graves described was like a sphere I will not even touch that because I know what I'm talking about is something different. Based on what? I don't even know if I should say that because it's somebody in Congress. But let's just say, you see what this is on the screen? That has been discussed, something very similar to this for the last few years behind the scenes. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. What you see is similar to what some describe as seeing. And I'm not going to mention names or anything like that. But I'm wondering, did John see something similar to that? The orangey red sphere with plasma? Because I'm telling you, I've heard that over the last 3 years. There's been a conversation behind the scenes about that. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm not getting in trouble. So, John, if you're watching, I want to know. I'm really curious now. Oh, and here's another thing. Just to be clear, because there's a lot of people armchairing, quarterback thing, a lot of opinions out there, and I'm just going to voice my opinion. As I said, experiencers, witness testimony, hypotheses that we're dealing with extraterrestrials, visitations. They've been here for who knows how long. They're still here. They're walking amongst us. Interdimensional, demonic in nature. There's so much. We all know that. We all know that. But do not take out of the equation that it's possible that tests were being conducted by our military industrial complex to test, just like what probably happened with the Tic Tac, Lockheed Martin testing it. There were no live munitions in 2004 during that drill with the Nimitz carrier group. Who's to say that they're not testing at other locations, other things that are going on, and that what happened at Rendlesham is not extraterrestrial in nature? Though, like I mentioned, Peniston did say he approached and was in contact with a physical object. But what if it's something else? As I mentioned, the government spokesman came out, a month or two ago, saying that we have the ability to manipulate time and space. What if this was some kind of a distortion? What if this was some kind of a test? And they actually walked upon this. Something was created, some kind of a distortion. And it appeared the way they described. Who knows? But you cannot take out of the equation, obviously, people right away, or Tic Tac's a UFO, blah, blah, blah. Then we hear that Lockheed Martin was working on this and it's already in its third rebuild phase. So it's actually version 3, supposedly. And there's supposedly a video, allegedly. Who's to say? And we cannot underestimate what has been done in the past on civilians as well in tests. And a lot of people speculate that it's still going on now. All you got to do is ask some about weather modification. Is that not a test? Is it from a satellite in space? I'm sure there's a lot of people that believe that, right? So that's just an example. But that's not to say it's not happening. So again, it's based, everybody has their opinion. But to say that it's not is naive and really misinformed. To say that it's not. You cannot say that it's not without providing evidence that it's not. And that evidence, of course, is being withheld. SAP's top secret, Gang of 8 access probably, if any at all, because a lot of people in Congress don't even have the clearance to go into a SCIF to look at it. So when you hear all this stuff going on, it's obviously, just like I'm saying, opinionated. But to say that it's not, it's just ridiculous. Because you never know. And like I said, look at history. During tests, Do you think the public was aware when a lot of tests are going on? Not. Or the ramifications of certain tests and how it affects a biological entity, the health adverse effects after the fact. So, like I said, all can be true. But to say that it's not, speculating that it's just simply, I will never say never. Because it might come back to bite you that you said, nah, it's not that. And then, look, it may not happen now, but look, this technology was going on when we were talking about it, and here it is. It's being shown publicly now. So that's my whole take on that, because I see a lot going on with that because of an article that came out, and it did revolve around Robert Salas, Maelstrom, that maybe it wasn't an actual UFO, extraterrestrial or whatever, but it was actually a test, which makes kind of sense, but Salas totally disagrees with that, and I respect him for that because he's a friend and I understand. There's two, they're trying to come up with an explanation, but you also have witnesses that were there and say otherwise. But like John Burroughs has mentioned about certain things at that installation that may have been part of the overall experiment that was being conducted to see how vulnerable our ICBMs were if an adversary were to use a certain type of weapon to shut them down. So what better place to test it than on one of our own facilities to see if it can be done and how to prevent it, countermeasures. So to say that there wouldn't be a test of any kind under any circumstances, whether it's a military base or even civilians, is naive. You cannot say it is not that. Well, some of it, most of it, blah, 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 may not be, but you can't say it's not that at all because you don't know that. I don't know that. If we knew, it would be definitive, and it's not definitive. It's just speculation on everyone's part. But then when you talk to people directly connected to actual events, you have to go based on what they're saying, they're testifying to, or what they're describing. And I've spoken to Robert Salas numerous times and his lovely wife, Marilyn. And the communication that was going on from where he was in the bunker to those above and witnessing this and in panic because they were scared of what was going on above. But to simply see something and describe it is one thing. To see it and understand exactly what you're looking at is another. It's based on their best possible description of a visual, but what's the source that's creating that? Is it physical? Is it an object? Is it some kind of an energy distortion? What is it? So, I mean, that's the real question. Just like Rendlesham and some other locations. And that's why it's good to be objective. And, like I said, a lot of people have their opinions. Just like mine. Doesn't make it right. It's speculation. It's a guesstimate. But based on the individuals that I speak to and know, scientists included, it makes me have this whole perspective on how I look at things. Is what they are telling me something that I look is credible and valid, it's coming from those that worked on rockets and helped develop the hydrogen bomb. And I'm talking about some serious scientists and telling me stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Off the record, of course. So how do I view all this? When you have all this information coming from different sources, again, you have people that are experiencers, witnesses, whether they're military, civilian, otherwise. Those that say they have a conscious connection, psychic. And you know what's bizarre? We hear the word psionics. This is not new. And of all things, I couldn't believe it. And I wish I remembered which one it was. I think it was, this is going to sound bizarre. I don't know if it was Godzilla versus Biolante. I think it was. They had a psionics lab in the movie. When I was watching it, because I love Godzilla flicks, I was like, oh my gosh. The Psionics Institute, it was being discussed in a Godzilla movie in the freaking, I don't know if the movie was made in the 80s or 90s. What about remote viewing, MK Ultra? Do you honestly think this is like, they're using new terminology, but it's all about that connection. It's the same thing. They just spun it differently. But that's how far this goes back. Even in a Godzilla movie mentioning this decades ago. Decades ago. They were talking about this on the show last night, how Hollywood has a tendency to do things, and then you may see some of that in reality in the future. I love watching old sci-fi movies. Remember those 50s movies? Not so much, with the saucers, but what about the rocket ships? The traditional rocket ships. Landing. Look at SpaceX. Look at Starship. It looks like something out of a movie decades ago. And we're actually doing it. And in the process of traveling like a movie to Mars and of course Moon. So pretty interesting, to say the least. So getting back to the Burroughs thing, you really need to tune in Thursday to the Green Veil Chapter 2 Fracture Line, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. KGRA Facebook, KGRA YouTube, KGRA DB Rumble, at Global Radio Live on X. And just watch this. As he just told me 10 minutes ago on the phone, it's like he relived it when he was watching this, and of course he wrote this. It was like he was reliving the whole thing all over again. This is, like I was showing you, I have it here, the episode that's going to air. I'm not gonna, why don't I just share a little bit more of a teaser clip?
Standard perimeter sweep as Police 5, covering a remote stretch near the East Gate, a frostbitten corridor where foxes outnumbered personnel. Just past 0300 hours, the static on the radio gave a low click. Then Jack keyed in. Police 5 to control. We've got movement. Bright pulses in the tree line. Directional. Non-random. Request visual confirmation. Control came back quickly. Copy. Police 5. Please expand on what you're observing.
So you already can see, it's like, remember, this is science fiction because characters have been fictionalized and the storyline is John's vision as it goes. To 22 chapters. But you can see where this is going. And that's why I've watched this already. It's intense, to say the least. You should definitely tune in to watch this. For those that are interested in this topic. And uh-oh, what's going on here? It's still not live promo for 2. That's impossible. What's going on, John? Let me see. Let me go to KGRA Facebook. I published it. I see it. 39 minutes ago. Plans to go live. What happened? Oh shit, I put live, not pre-recorded, I think. Oh my God, I may have to go on live with it. Oh, I'm gonna have to get off of here. Enter studio. Where is it? Past. No, it aired. Pre-recorded ended. Okay, something's bugging me out now. Let me go to YouTube. John is messaging me. What the hell happened? It might have been a glitch in the system. Maybe they don't want it to be seen. Videos. Live. Oh shit, it didn't go. Oh, no, those are all upcoming. The Green Veil Chapter 1. Chapter 2 promo. It's here. I'm looking at it on YouTube.
Chapter 1. Jack Barrett appears at a congressional hearing held in a skiff before the Gang of Eight.
It's on here.
Now, Jack Barrett's return to the past begins. The Rendlesham event
All right, let me
is
go to-
reframed
let me go
not
to
as an
X.
encounter, but
Could be a Facebook issue. Let me check all these because I don't see the problem here. It just worked on YouTube. So it went out. Let me see if it went on X. It did go out on X. There it is. Fracture 2 promo. It's got 19 views already. Okay. Rumble. Why does Facebook do stuff like that? KGRA. Oh no, I didn't do the KGRA Rumble because I have 3 shows set up for tonight. Let me go back to Facebook. What is going on with Facebook? I'll just tell him to share the link. From YouTube. The Green Veil plans to go live. Bullshit. It went live. What the hell? I'm just gonna have to upload this. I'm gonna delete this one. I can't do it. I'm not a admin there. All right, I gotta talk to John now. Facebook is glitchy. All right. It didn't go on Facebook for some stupid reason, but it is on YouTube and X. Don't ask me what Facebook did. So if you want, you can copy the link from YouTube and post it on your Facebook. But I would suggest you go into the KGRA Facebook and delete that. I cannot.
Okay, I will do that then.
Yeah, because it's going to look stupid if it's...
Send it to me on YouTube, Nick. I'll do that.
You want me to send you the link from YouTube to you?
Yeah, I'll just put it up.
All right, I'm going to send it to you on Facebook Messenger.
Okay, we'll do it, and then I'm going to turn around and I'll delete the two, my page and their page.
All right. See you.
Bye.
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 Yeah, that's the best way to do it. It's almost like they don't want it going out. It's like weird. I just watched it. History. The Green Veil, Chapter 2. Copy.
Chapter 1. Jack Barrett appeals at a
We'll mute that. Facebook. That is weird. All right. Anyway, so that's resolved. But it's going to be really interesting, I believe. Well, and I don't believe I've seen it already, but that's for everyone else to decide themselves. Anyway, getting back to it, I also suggest, just to give really, some background, the book that he wrote, co-authored with James Warrow, you really should get this. This would be a good thing to read to give you some background on Rendlesham from John Burroughs' perspective. I mean, Alexa, turn on living room light.
Okay.
Maybe I can just... Oh, and that's right, Ronnie Dugdale contributed to. I don't want to leave anybody out. Dr. David Clark, Adrian Bustinza. He mentions a whole bunch of people in here. Giving credit to. Who's messaging me now? Oh, it's the Hobbs. I mentioned you earlier. I'm just skimming to read. Like I said, I would suggest, because there's a lot here, and I don't want to take things out of context. Okay, so I'll just read one thing out of here. And this is from Burroughs speaking like right now. Indeed, my medical condition can be closely linked to the effects on human physiology and of extremely close encounters with the phenomenon. The British MOD report on the UAP phenomenon, the now declassified Condign report, went so far as to say, quote, the well-reported Rendlesham Forest Bentwaters event is an example where it might be postulated that several observers were probably exposed to UAP radiation for longer than normal UAP sighting periods. What did I say? That we both know, so Race Hobbs, who was program director and executive producer at KGRA during the time Phenomenon Radio aired with Linda Moulton Howe and John Burroughs. And sometimes I would fill in when Race was busy. We both know John to be direct, blunt, in your face, and really honest. And brash, but he's speaking his mind. Whether people are like it or not, John is going to speak his mind regardless. And that's just John being John, which I always respected because it was honest. So Race knows this. I know this. People that know him know this. That's what I said earlier. So I would really suggest you get this book because his other book is coming out in the fall. And it really is going to get down to the details of stuff that was not prior released, documents, evidence. It's coming. So I would suggest you get this book as to give you some background at least. This one right here. And I've been digging. Alexa, shut off living room light. Now, I know a lot of people are uncomfortable visiting government websites. Oh my God, I just closed everything out. Oops. That was an oops. Like Independence Day. Oops. But it's okay because I have all the pop-outs here. Except for Facebook now. Ray says, right, John is legit 100%. Totally agree. Totally agree with Race Hobbs. But I'm going to share something on the screen. If I still have it. Yes. I would say visit this at your own discretion. Because a lot of people are apprehensive about visiting a website like this. But there's a lot of information you can find out on a site like this. I'm going to put my whole screen. There is stuff here that is related to UAP that the public and the so-called researchers and people that look into this stuff probably don't even know it's there. And yes, the same people, Schumer, Rounds, Gillibrand, well, Rubio is now, he's got a high position in government. But he would have co-signed it too. They're trying to reintroduce an amendment. We've heard this before. It probably will go nowhere. But see, this has a lot of interesting stuff in it, including missile defense. Now, like I said, you could visit this at your own discretion. If it's not something you're comfortable visiting. Let's put SAP. This was the main one that was added September of last year. And boy, oh boy, did they cover their behinds on a lot of stuff with this one. And I showed this to Richard Dolan. He wasn't even aware of this. A few months ago, I showed him. I sent it to him. There's a couple of things in here. That's foreign governments. We're not looking at that. But you'll see it in some of this stuff. And who are the people that designate what goes out or what is not going out? And to whom? They are in control of the content when it comes to SAPs. And you got to, I'm going to try to find, it's all under the authority of this person, that director, blah, 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 blah. But there is some language in here. I'm looking for it. This is still foreign. Hold on. It is too really interesting parts here. I've read this months ago. Here. Is it? No, not yet. All right. There's more about Congress, the congressional. But there's a main piece that I'm looking for here that's like fascinating. How they're able to block it, need to know. They made sure. This is still foreign. I'm looking, skimming. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. It's been a while. SAP. Yeah. Where is it? What is it, Mom? I'm live right now. Okay, go plug it in. It's kind of interesting because there's stuff. There's more stuff than the original one that I got, that I downloaded months ago. There's a lot here more. This is probably the other one is probably an edited version. This is, oh my gosh, here she comes.
Can you call Sandy for a second?
I cannot call anybody right now. I'm very busy.
Because Whoopi is on the show and she's,
Okay. All right.
we like her.
Polygraph. See, this is more in depth than the one that I seen originally. I may have to download this version. Mom, excuse me, I'm live.
Oh my God, okay. Oh my God.
She just, like, what was it? Race, if you're still watching. Christ! Top secret. Yeah. I'm looking. I should bring up mine because I picked the one spot. This is the whole thing, but I'm going to get this one back. I need to download this version. It's the whole version. I've never seen this one in complete like this. This is really thorough. Congressional SAP procedures. It might be under here. The need to know has to be here too. Okay. This is part of it. Only members of Congress and professional staff who meet the SAP access prerequisites described in paragraph 5.1 above and the future provisions described in this section may be given access to SAP protected material or receive SAP briefings. DoD SAPCO will complete the PAR and manage access for all members of Congress and professional staff members requiring access to SAP. When a member of Congress or a professional staff member is given access, the member of Congress or professional staff members will also be given access to all compartments and subcompartments that fall under the respective SAP umbrella. Only the chair, the ranking member, the staff directors, and one designated security manager of the Defense and Intelligence Committees will be authorized access to waive DoD SAPs. Members of Congress assigned to the Defense and Intelligence Committees are authorized to access all DoDs with respective committee oversight jurisdiction. Blah 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 blah. It's unbelievable. The personal staff and member of Congress will not be granted. So that, I mean, they really, really made sure they covered all the bases. But there's a need to know here. Okay, that's the glossary. I should bring up my saved one. I'm going to see if I find it. Because that's the whole one. But if you look up UAP, there's been another revision done. Security UAP. Now they got all the security protocols when it comes to the SAPs. I'm guaranteeing a lot of these people that do the research haven't even seen it yet because they're not looking in the right places. Guaranteed. But I when I was doing some searching, I stumbled onto other things and I was like, whoa. And that's fascinating when doorways open up for more research. But getting back to, I'm going to see if I find the document. It's a PDF. God only knows where. I'm pretty sure I re-downloaded it. Let me just look up PDF. Is it this one? It might be. It might be. I'm hoping that this is the one where it says that. Okay, let's go down. This might be the same one. Oh my God, what is this? Oh no, this is the security one. I downloaded the security one so we don't have to visit the site. That's good. This is the one that came out January of this year. This is just 6 months ago. Let me put zoom. Let's do a zoom here. This goes through all the different protocols of security. This is 100+ pages. This is all security related when it comes to SAPs. There's so much here. I'm not going to even... There's just so much here. They are really clamping down. Look. The issuance incorporates and cancels security manual for SAP programs from 2015. It's been the amendments. This is fascinating to read. But this is out there. Public domain. Just like a lot of other things are going on. You got to see on that site, and I'm not going to get into it because there's just so much there. But this is where you can obtain a lot of this information. I'm going to put it in the chats in YouTube and Rumble. I'm going to put this link. It's up to you to visit it. I know a lot of people are weary of visiting those type of sites. I know that. But you can look at the issuances. You can go to the latest ones, recent publications. And it is just fascinating to see some of the stuff that's in here. Even missile. So you can see I was hitting some already. And there's all kinds of stuff in here if you're interested in reading this kind of stuff. But directives are in here. There's actually forms. There's all kinds of stuff. But let's go to SAP again. So you can see forms. You can search. You can look at all kinds of stuff in here that's related to it. You do a search in the search engine. It's just incredible, the stuff that you could find on this site. It's just incredible. If I search missile, what they're doing with the hypersonic missiles, and what they're planning is unbelievable. And this is also, what they're planning with the Golden Dome, is it called? The Golden Dome that the president is working on. Well, this is not SDI. This is missile defense, space-based, all kinds of things that are going to be incorporated in this. So this is incredible. There's a ship that is actually brought up in here that they're going to put hypersonic weapons on it. It's a newer ship, but this, like I said, I did a lot of reading on this. There's just so much here. There's so much. And what this is called missile defense. But there's all kinds of information available on this site. A lot. And I just put in missile. UAP. Let's click on this one. Look at this. Just look at this. Look at all the information. This is why this site is incredible. I mean, I actually have to bookmark this one because I want to be able to go right to it. Of course, it has Arrow's website, the archives. I mean, you could just click on any Elizondo. Look at this. Look at this. The whole exchange. Look at this. Regarding Luis Elizondo. This is why this is a treasure trove. And there's so much here. Look at this. This is about Lou Elizondo. Response to your questions on the advanced aerospace threat. So ATIP. There it is. And actions of former DOD employee Luis Elizondo. This memorandum provides responses to your 6 questions regarding the actions of former DOD employee Luis Elizondo. Now, this isn't an actual memo for people that question Luis Elizondo's authenticity. I want to know more about his abrupt resignation. Why? Response. Mr. Elizondo has provided 3 different explanations for his sudden resignation. On October 3rd, he told his direct supervisor he was resigning because he had a fleeting job opportunity that required his immediate availability. Was that to the stars? I don't know. In a memorandum on the 4th, he cited his concerns over inaction within the department over anomalous aerospace threats as the reason for his resignation. On the 6th, via phone call, he told me he resigned because his job was too stressful on his family. So look at this. Oh, look at this. Question 4. What was the uncertain provenance you refer to regarding subject second letter? The letter was hand-delivered to the USDI Chief of Staff office by someone other than Mr. Elizondo. The letter is not consistent with the first resignation letter Mr. Elizondo personally handed his supervisor. After my phone call with Mr. Elizondo, in which he said he had been secretly working for the secretary, I checked with 2 senior officials that have no knowledge of special programs. Our collective assessment was that Mr. Elizondo's claims were not credible and the letter was not worthy of the secretary's personal attention. Well, how do we know that? If it's an SAP, they may not have access to it. They don't know. So that's questionable in itself. Question 5. Has the Navy civilian been interviewed about the declassification? Response, yes. USDI staff contacted him upon discovery of the SIPR net email sent to him by Mr. Elizondo. He informed us that he told Mr. Elizondo that he was not the declassification release authority and took no further action. What is the deferred retirement response? So there was 3 different reasons. Referred to delayed payment of benefits under certain criteria, blah, 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 blah. So you could see there's a lot of stuff in here. And this is all regarding Elizondo. And I mean, that's why this site is a great source for documentation. I mean, Roswell report case closed. Wow, it goes back. Wow. I mean, look at this. There's a whole bunch of stuff to dive into. That's Elizondo, the one we just watched. Elizondo again. There's a lot of things here to deal with Elizondo. The open hearing, the archives for the government, National Archives, photographs. Look at this. All on this site. So I'm going to now put this link in the YouTube chat and Rumble. Okay, they're in there. But this is fascinating. UAP, the debrief emails. Of course, different timelines. But if you're curious about this stuff, this is a good place to start. And yeah, there's Arrow. I'll just say it like that. But the archives, that's pretty interesting. Moving images and sound. I mean, and I don't want to get in trouble. So they actually have statements of military personnel. So yeah, this is fascinating if you're interested in this topic. You just got to know where to look. And I'm actually surprised a lot of people don't do the research. Maybe, I don't know why. They should. You'd be surprised what you stumble on. Like, I forgot the name of the ship that they're gonna. Let me see if I could do a public domain search. Let me see if it comes up. Oh, I already clicked it. But I don't know if it's going to have the ship on it. The weapon officially named Dark Eagle. Dark Eagle. But this isn't updated because I'm not seeing the ship's name. That's it. That's it. This is from 4 years ago. This article. But on that site I just showed you, it already indicated that this is actually happening. That's why when you put pieces together, Navy searches for companies able to integrate hypersonic weapons aboard Navy Zumwalt class destroyers. Well, this is actually something that I found from that other site that tied it to this. Hypersonic weapons on naval vessels. And remember what I was just showing you, the missile defense? There was another article that goes into that more in detail. It's fascinating. I would have to, because you got to see, it's obviously public domain. Okay, this is a more recent article. U.S. Navy proves sea-based hypersonic launch approach. And they already tested it. See, before it was, they were approaching companies. Well, it's been tested. And this is May 2nd. The first sea-based hypersonic fielding with a successful end-to-end flight test of the conventional hypersonic missile from Cape Canaveral in Florida. It's the first launch of the CPS capability utilizing the Navy's cold gas launch approach that will be used in Navy sea-based platforming fielding. So you can see what it's going to be launched from. And they're going to install these on ships. And there it is, what we were just looking at, the USS Zumwalt. Like I was just talking about, it's going to be the first one. Prepared for the first Navy fielding above the USS Zumwalt. So it's already being done. What's up, Nick? So that's how you put pieces together. At least that's how I do it. Based on what I read from the other site, directives, issuances, releases, it pointed me to look into this stuff that collaborates what's going on. And that's exactly. So if they're testing it, do you think, Bill, I worked down at a decommissioned compound down at Sandy Hook Proving Ground, New Jersey. So, think of this. If they say they're testing, do you think they're just simply testing, or do they have some of this capability already available? You have to ask yourself that. You can only imagine what we have, what we just don't see. Would you show your hand of cards if you were, would you show that hand if you were playing? Or are you going to hold it until it's time to put the cards down? Or are you going to bluff? Because by bluffing, it's like psyops. Having your adversary think that you have something is going to make them spend money to try to figure out how to defend against it. There's a lot of ways to look at this. Oh shit. This is important. Okay, that was very important. Very. This is how it works. All right. Anyway, I can't. What? It's after 1 o'clock already? How long have I been babbling? Too long. But I find all this fascinating. I really do. Can you imagine the technology and definitely the implementation of lasers on ships and other military assets. I think a lot of them understand that the future of warfare is AI, because we do have right now, it's already been tested, an AI co-pilot, not co-pilot, flight, a wing, I don't want to say wingman because it's really not, it's a wing thing. But it can go ahead, it can scout, it can hit targets. Can you just imagine? I'm going to see if I look it up. AI wingman Air Force. It may not be under the Air Force. It might be on the Navy. It could be on anything. Yeah, that's it. Of course. It's the New York Times, which wants me to pay. Get lost. Oh man, that was a good one too. I'm trying to find a good article. I can't show video, so I'll get in trouble. I can't even call commander. That's it. I found it. This is an old article, but it's already being tested. This. AI-powered loyal wingman. U.S. Air Force to spend billions on autonomous combat aircraft. That's it. It's already been tested. This is an old article. Can you imagine? Let me make this a little bigger. I mean, it's going to actually optionally manned. That's it. Now let's look this up, because that's it. Actually, it's the Valkyrie. Let's look this up. Copy. Paste. Now we're talking. I mean, these are pictures, images. Oh, Christ. What? Don't touch my toy. It won't work for your TV. Don't start doing that. Try to find your toy. So these are some of the images. She's in a jail. Oh. So that might be the German version. So say hello to the U.S. That's ours. This is going to be, you know what, bad, all that. Is she going to drive me nuts? She's going to drive me nuts. This is it, right here. Look at this. High speed, long range, low cost, unmanned. Yeah, low cost. How much does it cost to develop it? Reusable, blah, blah, blah. Look, this long-range aircraft is designed for high speeds and agile maneuverability, enabling it to perform a variety of missions. It is runway independent, offering maximum operational flexibility to the warfighter. Look at that. And look how back it goes for testing. If its first flight was on March 5th, 2019, that publicly. It had a successful 3-hour sortie mission on July 25th, 2023. So that's 2 years ago. I can't show the video because I'll get in trouble. So that's what we're talking about. That's just one example. That's a good question. Well, it's not just the drone, because actually I was doing research on this. It actually works as an actual wingman, unmanned. It's not simply just a drone. It can go out on missions, scouting ahead. It can act as a wingman in combat, along with the pilot. The only thing that makes it different is it's unmanned. But this is like an actual fighter. It's more than just a drone. This is like having another fighter in your squadron. The only difference is there's no one in it. It's not a drone. It is, you could call it a drone. A classification is a drone because it's unmanned. It is a UAV, but it can do a lot more than a drone. This is badass. But this is the future of warfare. You're always going to have that human element, but the future is AI, whether you like it or not. What is the one thing that they're really concerned? Swarm drones attacking. And how do you counter swarm drones? Hundreds, if not thousands of them attacking at once. How do you defend against all that incoming? Well, you counter it with AI interception countermeasures to intercept. Are you going to count on a human? And plus, what is the arsenal involved in trying to take down thousands of drones if there was a swarm attack? The best thing is to counter it with a similar drone with AI to countermeasure and intercept. A lot of it's going AI. Whether people like it or not, that is the future of warfare. Exactly. It's like an well, it's more than an F-15. It's more like an F-22. It's more like an F-22 unmanned. This thing is, I could think it's 5th generation. This is not a joke. This is serious stuff and that's what we see. We don't, do you realize how many 6th generation planes we're working on right now? Not just the one that you hear about in the public, the 47 that the president made the announcement about. There's others. I don't want to really show you something because it's private information, but let me just see, or let me look at it first, because I get stuff sent to me. But I don't know if this was discussed in secret. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, I can click on one. Because it's public. This is 2 months ago. This is another. Oh my God, now what? confirm. I gotta confirm him. All right, going back to the next one. That's not it. Because you got to remember, multiple aerospace companies are working on multiple things at any given time because they want that contract. They want that government contract. So they're competing with each other. That goes without saying. That's good. That's healthy. Cost. But here's another example. Oh, that was just bizarre sounding. This is very important. That is annoying. That sound is simply annoying. This is a very important conversation I'm having right now. I cannot put this down. Okay. Anyway, getting back to this. While I keep an eye on that. Here's another example. The Fury. An AI fighter built to fly with America's most fearsome aircraft. Look at this. A new drone fighter. See, so both can be true. Okay. There's a lot going on. So I can't play the video. Unveiled a test representative model on May 1st, but the TV segment reveals more detail. So do you see what I'm saying about AI, the future? It looks just like a fighter jet. Barracuda is designed to exit next generation. Look at this. A next generation cruise missile. This is fascinating to me. I mean, I love this stuff. This is fascinating. Okay, so basically, I don't want to get. I've been spending a lot of time on this right now, but there's so much out there. If you just know where, like I said, to look, and there's other stuff, but there's images of stuff. Right, I can't show them. I may have to. I don't know if. I'm gonna see. I don't want to put anything out there that I could get in trouble. I need to eat. By the way, the commander did make some awesome coins. Okay, it's not here. I'm not going to get too crazy. But there's a lot of stuff under in development. But that Valkyrie looks awesome. Moving forward, we make sure. He's cool. Keith. I definitely can tell he's cool. This is somebody working with somebody. Anyway. That's all I'm going to get into that. There's so much. That can just go so many different ways. Spin out of control. All right, so let's see. So it's like the AI space race, but with fighter jets. I'm speculating when I say this, but I was told this by a Russian scientist. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. By a Russian UFO researcher years ago. He told me that there is a program called Terminator. I don't know if this is true. And it was drones in space to intercept, think of it as to take out military satellites, threats. He said to me, this was years ago, and I'm trying to get in contact with him, but he's probably busy, and I know where he is, but he's in Europe somewhere. He said that this exists. So could there be drones in space on some kind of a platform where they can launch them from? We know about the X-37B. It's actually going to be launched again, or it might have just launched. I don't know. I know there's a plan for it to go back up. Yeah, it's coming up now. Here we go. Right there. U.S. Space Force's mysterious X-37B spaceplane launching August 21st to test quantum sensor and laser communications tech. It looks like a mini shuttle. That's what it kind of looks like. And it could be up there for years, which it has already. It's not like it stays up there for years at a time. I know that a couple of years. Okay, so this was just announced this week. They announced it Monday. This will be the 8th mission to date. So the flight is called OTV-8. And it's secret, so you're not going to know what it's actually doing. That's what they say. And it's going to lift off from SpaceX Falcon 9. It's going to be a Falcon 9 rocket. And this is August 21st, so that's something to keep an eye out, to watch. They're also preparing the Artemis crew, 2 crew. But there's a lot of stuff going on that's going to delay that. There's too much stuff. First of all, Elon has to get Starship really moving forward, because that's slowing things down a lot too with all the failed tests. That is got to be reliable. That is an important component of space exploration, period. So NASA's got its problems, SpaceX has its problems. There's a lot going on, but this is interesting. But let's look. And actually, there was a launch with the crew, the Dragon crew, the other day. Anyway, Artemis 2 mission astronauts. They should come up. Let's see, anytime past week. 2 days ago, 1 day ago. And about the NASA, despite NASA uncertainty, there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's so much hinging here, it's not set in stone. But they're keeping themselves ready. April is the official date. It could be less than 9 months before humanity ventures back to the moon, or even if only to fly around it. So the astronauts are talking about it. Look, I don't see this happening. I don't know if that timeline is going to stick for 2027. Artemis 3, where they actually land on the moon. The astronauts, I don't know. So they're trying to, the president is trying to just go directly to the private industry, because NASA's a mess. It really is. NASA's a mess. After the 3rd mission. So you could see they're trying to do away with the NASA involvement. In this article, at least. Do I see it happening in summer of 2027? 3? Landing on the moon? No. I don't. Because of Starship. Space. Let me just look. SpaceX Starship. Next launch. Or next test launch. Next test. We should put test. When are they going to do it again? In about 3 weeks. This was Elon saying this on the 15th. A fully stacked Starship vehicle will be the 10th launch to date. It'll be flying again before the summer is over. So this is what he said on X. It'll be the 4th launch of the year for Starship. It's not a big article, but so that should be coming up soon, actually, if that's accurate. We might have to go to SpaceX. 3 days ago. Yeah, this is the problem. They've had a lot of setbacks with the explosions. A string of explosive setbacks. This is the problem. That's what I was referring to, the setbacks. They've got to get this going. Early August. The rocket's last few launches did not go smoothly. They're in a slump as they're trying to develop a fully reusable Starship. Now, you got to make sure this thing is stable and has been tested and tested and tested. Not that the next test is successful. You got to have a string of successful tests. The company is in desperate need of a win ahead of its planned uncrewed Mars launch in 2026. This is so important to space exploration, if it all works out. It suffered a bunch of failures. Propellant leak, then the vehicle broke apart during re-entry, and then the other one. So there's a lot riding. A lot is riding on Starship's oncoming flight. But it's already suffered a major setback. The test, oh my gosh, the static fire test exploded on June 18th. The explosion was likely due to the failure of a pressurized nitrogen tank in the rocket's payload bay. And he just said it's just a scratch. SpaceX is known for setting unrealistic timelines and allowing room for error during the development phase of its rockets. And Starship is no different. But by Flight 10, hopefully the rocket will at least return to Earth in one piece and end its lousy streak. It's true. SpaceX is hasn't been doing well with Starship. That's fact. That's why I said before we even got to these articles, they need to get this moving. Because it's not doing well. As a re-entry vehicle, can we just get it back in one piece? Down, at least, or try to land it in one piece? Because it's been breaking up and exploding. Because you got to remember, there's going to be payloads, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. They're not doing too well. I'm definitely going to be watching what happens with this the 10th test. Look. SpaceX Starship explodes in spectacular fireball at Texas test facility. That's what that other article was referring to. This is this year, June 19th. Boom. But this prototype never even left the ground. The explosion shown in that video, which I cannot show, experienced a major anomaly while on the test stand. And that's when I just referenced just a scratch. So they really, really, really need a successful or deemed a successful test, hopefully on the 10th test. And he's got a bunch of them lined up ready to go. He's got prototypes. If you've never seen that, there's a lot invested. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The astronauts did not go up yet. SpaceX launches crew to the space station. Did it go up?
We'll show you a better way.
Maybe it did. Maybe it happened today.
Just moments ago at Kennedy Space Center, you can see the cumulus clouds out there, but they apparently were not enough of a concern, and we had a very successful liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center.
Nominal. Propelling Falcon 9.
It has been certainly
Crew 11.
a view to watch as it
To the
continues to soar
ISS.
through the sky now. Already moments have gone by. The first stage separated on its way back to landing zone 1. Interestingly, it's the 53rd landing of a first stage at landing zone 1, and the last time SpaceX will be using it, because now the U.S. Space Force
Pacific.
actually requires landing pads at the launch complex where they're going to be departing from. So now here we go back into it with a live view of where we are. Right there.
Successful. Crew 11. It's funny, I was just talking about it and it came up on my phone. That's bizarre. Are you listening to me? Are you? Are you like spying on me? That's weird, actually, how that just came together like that. Nick, are you still alive in chat on Twitch? You still alive? It's, you know, what is it, 10, a little after 10 a.m. there in California? It's already after 1 here. I've got a lot of work I got to get prepared for. I'm in a pretty good place right now, actually. Going bike riding tomorrow. We're going back. Is my door closed with the spy? We're going back to NYC to do the 360 bike ride all over. Because when I went on Monday, it was very humid. The lens was fogging up from all the humidity. I'm not happy the way the video came out. It looks pretty good, but it could be way better. So I already am going tomorrow. Back. It's a big, big deal to do it. Because I have to drive to Jersey. And that too, the alarm. Oh, I gotta make sure that shit is not going on. That's the bike alarm. So I bought a few things. I actually paid for something in Walmart, and then I found out after I paid for it, I was going to bring it back. And I was pissed. I bought bungee cords and this. My door's locked. Where are my keys? Are my keys here? No, they're over there. So I have a cargo bag. But the thing I use, the power bank that I use to charge up to keep the camera going, it's too tight in that cargo bag. So I had to buy this, and I hope it works. Usually when I do something, it works. This door is locked. It's warming up a little finally. It was freezing this morning when I went out. I actually had to put the heat in the car. Let me get the keys. They're here. I'm going to the car. I gassed up already. I'm already ready to go. I gotta get my coffee cup for the morning. It's in the car too. I try not to eat because then I don't want to have to go to the bathroom while I'm riding a bike. Let's take the key out. coffee cup. I gotta make coffee in the morning. We don't have to lock this right now. So I bought this. Alexa, turn on living room light. I didn't even look at it how, okay, it opens on the side here. I may cut this out. Yes. I don't want to break it. But this is more like a Fisher tackle box kind of deal. See it in there? I'm going to cut that out. Like literally right now. I'm going to put the power bank in here. And then it'll be bungeed to the cargo bag on top. Because this will give it the breathable space to run the cable to the... And I could actually put other stuff in here. I really do not have to get rid of it because this moves. I'm not going to cut it because it might ruin it actually. Make it less durable. Because that's a liner. So hopefully my idea works. What I should do the wire can sneak out through here. I could sneak the wire up through there. I'm not crazy about the strap. I may cut the strap. Oh, here we go. Actually, what's going on, man?
I'm looking for my cosmetic bag.
It's not here.
I have to look because that's the only place and that's the only thing I have.
Okay, it's not here. Actually, I could run the bungee. I don't think it'll fit through that. It won't. Actually, yeah, the strap might need to go. I may have to cut this strap off. Because it's just going to be like this. I can bungee around it.
Come on, Chaco, sit down. Leave me alone.
I like the way it is though. It'll sit on the cargo bag pretty flush. So I'm going to bungee this around the entire thing. I don't want to really ruin the strap because that's kind of ruining the bag. But I don't want this flying around on the back either. Whipping around. I guess I don't want to put it underneath. I may have to cut this strap. Because it's not what the purpose of what I want it for. Ma!
Huh?
Do you know where there's a good scissor?
Yeah, I think I can find it.
Can you find it?
But I'm not too sure, but I know.
Oh, I got one. I got one. I got one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Saquito,
we're gonna
come
get
on,
rid of the
sit
strap
over there, you come over
right
here,
now.
Saquito, go.
Bye-bye. See ya. Just like that. Goodbye. It's better. This is not what that's for. I am not too crazy, but that's okay. Now I may drill a hole. Right there so that I could stick the cable up. Directly straight up from inside, not to run it outside where it's bending. But then again, this might actually help keep it stable inside. There's a way to try to find out about that. Who's messaging me? Okay, you sent me the link. That's important. Let's see. What are you doing?
Decorating like my house, the looks I do,
Oh yeah, okay.
you know?
Where's my other power bank? No, I only took out 3. That phone is driving me crazy, you know that? Oh, please, don't touch anything there.
Then put them where they
Alright,
belong.
don't come
I
here and
am
do this
not
now.
touching nothing
I leave
here.
that alone. What are you going there for? That
To
cushion?
get my cushion.
Oh, I'll
and
do
all
it.
that.
I'll do it. Don't touch it.
This is my house.
But I
Omar.
have stuff
I
here.
don't like messes.
I
in
know,
my
I have
house.
stuff here. Give me that.
Here,
Give me that.
take that.
Okay,
Oh, fuck.
that's it. You must be bored to come here.
No. I always have my home nice.
Okay, I know.
Neat.
I know.
It's you here.
You
I'm
must be
mess.
bored.
No, it's not being bored. It's fucking.
Stop.
living.
Watch your language. I'm live.
It's living.
Watch your language. I'm
It's
live.
It's living.
I understand.
I never. I always had a house.
All
I
right.
always
See
had
you
a
later.
beautiful-
I'm very busy right now.
And everybody
Okay.
looks and say, wow, this
All right.
looks like a.
Okay, good.
Okay, so stop it.
All
No,
right.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Mom, I'm live right now. Do you understand that?
So what?
Okay. This is a mess. I gotta get this cable out. I should just get a new one. I really don't want to have to go digging into here. That's audio. Is it? Is this audio? I think the bag is flying out now. Okay, let's just look in the bag. I think this is audio. Yes, this is audio. That's audio 2. Okay, this is what I need in this tangled mess. Oh, that's way too short. No good. Okay, that's audio. What is this? That's a charger. I got so much stuff. 3 times faster. Okay, that's not what I need. Okay. Oh, I am not looking through my crates. Oh, I know where it is. It's in my other book bag. We gotta get that one. It's always good to be prepared. I'm not even looking at my phone. At all. It's too bad. Too bad. Oh. Now's not the time. Audio. Okay, let's put this here. That's audio. This is for tomorrow. there's one. Okay, this is the one I use. Okay, we should have another backup in this bag. Maybe not. Or maybe so. Yes, there is. There's actually two of them. What is this? Yeah, that's another one. Type C, USB. Hell no, that's an HDMI. This might be it. That is it. Type C to the USB. Okay, that's pretty long. So we'll use this as a test. This is the main. This should have 100%. Yep, 100%. All right, now this all served the purpose. This does not go. This goes in this bag. All right, now let's find out. We're gonna do a mock test using this bag. Now what's going on? What? They moved her to a prison camp in Texas? That shit just gets weirder by the day. So if I put this in here, does it fit? It better fit. It fits perfectly. Now if I put the cable, it fits in here nice. Okay, I should actually face it this way. Like that. Now if I close this, I may have to make a hole. Maybe. No. This cable is definitely not long enough. That's for damn sure. But the other one is. So this has to go to the GoPro. This is what keeps the GoPro charged. I don't like that slack. It could put a lot of pressure here. Don't like that. But what if no, see, I don't like it. Because I could put a battery here. Would a battery fit in there? See, this is why this is important. That's not going to close. think. Think very carefully here. If that slips in here, that's no good either, right? I don't want it to be moving in there, because it's going to make this. I want it to be snug. I don't want pressure on the wire. There would not be no pressure on the wire if I drill a hole on the side. Is somebody coming down my driveway? I'm expecting 2 deliveries. We're gonna have to come up with a nice idea here. Oh, that bag is heavy. No. Okay. I have to think very carefully what I'm about to do. We're not going to drill on this side. We're going to drill it on this side. We're definitely drilling a hole. Because if I have the wire coming out through the back, it allows the cable to come out freely, where it's not going to put pressure if this moves inside. That's key. That is key. See, because it's going to move. And on the bike, this is a problem. For this. Okay, I'm going to have to mark it. Because I could always put something flush it from here so it doesn't move. I could stick something down there, which I'm going to find before I go tomorrow, so it doesn't move. So we need to create a hole right here. Right there. We need to make a hole. But it's got to be a big enough hole for the Type-C to fit through. So right here, I need a marker. Or a pen. Or a marker. Okay. Okay, next. Alexa, shut off living room light. I don't know where the box cutter is. The box cutter would be the best. Oh, I bought a utility knife. A different type. Alexa, turn on living room light.
Okay.
all I need to do is make a slit. The slit should be enough to fit the USB Type C. That's all I need. That's it. Did it penetrate through the whole thing? Nope. That knife is sharp. Okay, let's take this. Let's see if it goes through. Perfection. I don't want it to be too big. There it goes. It's going to have to be a little... Oh, it went through. That's freaking perfect. Oh, that's perfect. You gotta make inventions. Oh, that's perfect. I could even give it a little slack. And then it comes up. Perfect. That is perfect. Now I gotta find something that could keep this from moving inside. It's gotta be the right size. Something I could wedge that box with my cross. Oh no, this is a little card reader. Wow, that was perfect, but it might go over it. I need something this size. This is perfect. This is actually freaking perfect, but it's too thin. The power supply could slide right over it if I'm moving and bouncing. I need something like this. Oh, what about that? What about putting this for weight inside here and putting that, and we have to tape this together. Billy MacGyver. And then I could pack stuff on top of it. Sandwich, anything. Oh, perfect. That is freaking perfect. Look at that. That's perfect. I couldn't have come up with a better idea if I tried. Squatching? No, I'm going bike riding. This is where the power supply is going to go inside now. Because I had a problem with it disconnecting with bumps and shit in New York City. But see now, this is going to be bungeed onto my cargo bag, and the power supply will go straight up to the camera with no movement. It won't slide, it won't loosen, and this goes with Velcro straps to the up the rod to the camera, which I have them in outside in the car. Velcro straps. This is freaking perfect. This invention I just made. Just like that. It's freaking amazing, actually. And like I said, I still have room in here. Plenty of room. I could get a nice sub. Snacks. Because I carry my Gatorade on the bike. I still have plenty of room in here to put my first aid kit. It's in the car. Always carry the first aid. I could even put all kinds of goodies in here. This is actually the best thing I did. The only thing now, I got to make the bungee tight on this bag to hold on. This is going to be on top of my cargo bag on the rack. And I got to bungee this sucker down but I'll bungee it right through this handle in the middle. I'll go crazy. I bought a whole bunch of bungees. But this is freaking amazing. I wonder if this one is charged. And the thing is, it opens up so easy. Is this one charged? Sure is, 100%. I'm gonna leave this one right in here now. I'm not crazy about this cord though. But this is the one I use. It's staying connected. I'll bring a backup just in case. This is ready for tomorrow. Or ready for the bike. So this is going right in my car now. With my gear. I have a spare tube. I have the tools to change a tire if I get a flat. This is the guts. This is the main. Right in this bag is the main everything. Gotta have those. These are better than the Apple pods. This is way better. These are amazing. These are Sony's. I do need a roll of tape. What is this? What the hell is this for? I don't need that. The 360 should be in here. And that stupid alarm for the bike. See, this thing is awesome. The controller's on the bike. But the alarm was going off because I couldn't hear it with the music. What's going on? I'll call you back because I'm still live.
You still on?
Yeah.
Jeez.
How are you doing? How's everything? Dude, you look freaking phenomenal.
I'm back.
Dude, you look phenomenal. You know that, right? You look great.
I don't know. I don't know about
Dude, you look great.
I feel better.
Dude,
I feel
you look younger, healthier, more handsome. Just saying. I'm serious, dude. Robin must be like freaking out too.
Well, she kind of is. She's just glad that, you know, her husband's not laying in there.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
pain, you know. That poor woman has been through hell.
I know.
But I didn't know. I didn't look to see if you were still live. I didn't look. But I had a question, a technical question.
Hold on, let me mute. Let me mute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was a conversation that could not be heard. Okay. There's a lot going on all at fucking once here. There's just so much going on. It's actually... All right, enough. I'm going to get the hell off and start addressing work because there's a lot coming in. And I really got to get my ass in gear. So I'm going to say goodbye for now and address the things I need to be addressing, like now. So everybody have a great rest of your day. Be well, be blessed, be safe. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at some